Now on Coast TV News.
Development coming here. Even if plans for a shopping mall on Route 24 are denied, the applicant says something will be built.
Rescues recovering.
It was shocking, to say the least.
Now safe, these animals starting over, but they need your help.
Country calling coming.
These festivals are putting us on the map.
Ocean City flips from rock to country, how the next music festival brings boots, bands, and a massive boost to local business.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
More businesses either way. It's so long soybeans. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with new information on a hotly debated development in Lewes. This is the plot of land that we're talking about. It's just off Route 24 on the corner of Mulberry Knoll Road, not far from Beacon Middle School.
The Atlantic Fields proposal has gotten a lot of attention. That's because if built as planned, it would add a Target, Costco, Whole Foods, along with 23 separate buildings that are all shown in these plans submitted to Sussex County. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live there in Lewes. Brandon, the developer says that field behind you will not be as is in the coming years, even if the mall doesn't get approved.
Maddie, Ben Hoskins is the developer for the Atlantic Fields project. He says this entire 695,000 square foot area will be built on no matter the outcome of the Atlantic Fields proposal.
Soybeans waving in the fall breeze. But bulldozers and construction equipment will be calling this land home, according to Ben Hoskins, the project's developer. Hoskins telling Coast TV, this will not remain a soybean farm. Even if the massive Atlantic Fields shopping mall is denied, Hoskins says he would shift gears to single-family homes, workforce, and affordable housing on this land. That's a breath of fresh air for Gary Vorsheim, who lives less than a mile away from the Atlantic Fields proposed site.
I think the idea of shifting away from a C4 with a huge mall that's going to just cause havoc, for this particular area here and other parts of Sussex County. I think this is a good move.
In order for the mall proposal to move forward, the land needs to be rezoned from agricultural residential to a C4 commercial district. Wednesday, Sussex County Planning and Zoning deferred a decision for the second time.
Hoskins claims that building on this land will raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Cape Henlopen School District, and that this soybean field is going away regardless of if the Atlantic Fields project goes through.
Dave Bauer lives at this house right across from the proposed mall and says a zoning change can't go through.
They need to look at all the facts, and I from my view, I'm sorry, I just feel like it's a no-brainer.
As the debate continues and the county weighs its zoning options, one thing appears clear. Sooner or later, construction is coming for this plot of land in Lewes.
During yesterday's Planning and Zoning meeting, during the discussion about the Atlantic Fields project, Planning and Zoning Chairperson Holly Wingate said they had nothing more to discuss about the project and they were simply waiting on another member of the Planning and Zoning Commission to be present before possibly moving forward. Live in Lewes, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
On October 15th is the next time that's in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission. It's the third time that Atlantic Fields will go in front of Sussex County Planning and Zoning for a possible decision. The three outcomes that can come from that vote would be approved, approved with conditions, or denied, and then it still must ultimately go in front of Sussex County Council.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll, and we want to know, how should Planning and Zoning vote on the Atlantic Fields?
Let's take a look at this one, and this has changed since the 5 o'clock hour. 36% say approve it, 56% say deny it, 7% say downsize it, and 1% say delay longer.
We do have a comment from Becca in Millsboro who says, would rather the shopping than more housing. Our schools and medical resources already are overloaded from the housing influx over the last 5 years.
If you haven't voted yet, please do it. CoastTV.com or our mobile app, and we'll keep you updated tonight at 11. Now let's turn it over as we look live into Lewes, a beautiful view of the bay. Our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, has a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you, Maddie. And right now it's looking pretty good as well, but it's going to look great over the weekend with all kinds of sunshine, and we'll get a little warmer on top of that. In Milford right now we're holding at 64 degrees, but the dew point temperature's in the 40s, and that's why it feels so much cooler than, let's say, the last couple of days. It's not just a temperature thing, it's actually a dew point temperature thing. Moisture, and a good deal of it, is continuing to slide from the northeast, moving towards the southwest, and we actually have right now a coastal flood advisory in effect for the folks in Cambridge. This is connected to the high tide, though, and we're looking at that same concern throughout Sussex, at least for till late tonight. But actively, we have a small craft advisory, and this is an improvement because previously we were under a gale wind warning, meaning 45-mile-per-hour wind. So we've calmed down to 25, but it's still a bit agitated out there right now from Ocean Pines all the way down towards Chincoteague. And then in addition to that, the high surf advisory is still going to stay active. And it's staying active going into the rest of the evening hours. Overall, we're still staying relatively clear of rain, even going into the weekend, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. Nearly 100 animals were found living in what the Office of Welfare described as deplorable conditions. And it was an animal rescue. The saved animals are now at the Brandywine Valley SPCA in Georgetown, where they are receiving care. Authorities say that the animals belong to Mark Potomi, founder of the Pets and Wildlife Sanctuaries, Inc.
So on scene, it was shocking to say the least. So we're doing, the absolute best by these animals to make sure that they have what they need, and ultimately that we give them the care that they deserve.
Now that these animals are safe and are receiving care, the SPCA is urging the public to help by fostering, adopting, or even donating. Bay Health is planning one of the biggest expansion projects in their history. The two-phase project will take place in both Kent and Sussex counties. Phase 1, around $250 million, is aimed at expanding access to care and upgrade facilities. At the Kent campus, leaders plan to add 6 floors and all private rooms. The Sussex campus plans to include a new child care center and new medical building.
Access to care is a challenge everywhere in this country, and we have a growing population in Delaware, especially in Sussex County. And Bay Health is doubling down on their commitment to our patients by doing these projects. We have to meet our patients' needs, and we have to do that by doing all these projects.
The project has been approved by the Health Resources Board. If final approvals move forward, construction could begin early next year.
Looking ahead now, DelDOT will begin work on the Rehoboth Avenue Bridge over the canal as part of a statewide bridge painting program. DelDOT says Rehoboth Avenue will see shifts and closures Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. There will be detours, though, to help you get around all that. DelDOT says this is going to happen until early next year.
Businesses and hotels in Ocean City say this year's Ocean Calling, it was a big success, and they are ready for the next music festival to hit town. CoastTV News reporter Kevin Zapay is live in Ocean City. Kevin, Country Calling, it starts tomorrow.
Charlie, we're here at one of the entrances to Country Calling. And although Ocean's Calling was a big success here in Ocean City, some businesses believe Country Calling will do even better, especially now that it's a 3-day event. Music lovers had a blast during last weekend's Ocean's Calling Music Festival. But now that it's over, it's time to throw on the cowboy boots, put on the hats, drive some horsepower into town, and get ready to saddle up and dance to all the country songs heading to Ocean City. And if it's anything like Ocean's Calling, businesses in town can't wait.
These festivals are putting us on the map.
Christina Russo is the owner of the Rideau Oceanfront near the inlet, which gives her customers a great view of the festival. And with rooms costing $600 a night, she says it's a win-win for everyone.
At the end of the season, this is when we can make some extra money and take it home.
We spoke with 2 other hotels in the area who say they also see a big boost in stays when these music festivals roll into town. As for restaurants, they tell us festivals like this give them a final surge of business before the season wraps up. At Fisher's Popcorn along the boardwalk, they expect even more customers this year.
Last year, Country's Calling was only a 2-day concert, and this year it's 3 days.
According to Ocean City Tourism and Business Development Director Tom Perlazzo, all 55,000 tickets were sold for the event, and he expects similar crowds to last weekend.
With the event going from a 3-day or 2-day to a 3-day, We're just so happy that people are coming down for 4 days.
Although businesses are excited to see people walking into town, many say they're understaffed, but they're ready to work extra hard for the extra revenue before the busy season comes to a close. According to Perlazzo, he expects the event to generate around $150 million in town. I'm Kevin Zappé, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
If you plan on going to Country Calling, the pickup and drop off the lot for ride shares like Uber or Lyft, that is at the 4th Street Municipal Lot. According to the Country Calling Information Toolkit, that lot is only a 5 to 10 minute walk from the festival.
And we're just getting started this evening.
We previewed the Salisbury City rivalry as one local team is a step closer to the city title.
And thanks to the sunshine we expect a weekend warming close to 80 degrees. More on that coming up.
But first, from strangers to instant friends, how two young women who met just a few months ago are building a growing community on the coast. We have that story in just 60 seconds.
Making friends can be tough at any stage of life, especially young adulthood. But for two women in Delaware, they're trying to change that. They're getting women together for a walking club. In this week's Coastal Connections, Elisa Weber shows us what these two women have done with the Beach Babes Walking Club.
You would think Samantha and Cameron have been friends for years, but they only met this past May when Cameron was looking to connect after moving to Delaware from Pennsylvania. Samantha was also new to the first state, ironically from Pennsylvania too.
So I actually saw Sam post a video on TikTok, and I saw she was in the area, so I reached out. I was like, hey, you want to grab dinner? Kind of just trying to meet friends. So it was a little girl date that we went on at Nalu, and that night was some history for us.
The second time they hung out, Samantha and Cameron started planning a walking group for women, believing they weren't the only ones looking to meet new people. And in June 2025, Beach Babes Walk Club officially hit the ground walking.
We really were just craving a girlhood and a community, so that's kind of what Beach Babes is about. Literally, people would just come up and they were like, I came here alone, I was so nervous, and like I really feel that, and I'm like proud of them for showing up, because that's like really the first step you have to take to make friends and like connection, and that's all you have to do is just show up.
The club is free. All you have to do is show up, and women in all phases of life are welcome.
We had college age girls come, and up to even moms, 30, 40 years old. Like, everyone's welcome. So it was just a great range of people, and we have girls bring like their dogs, their kids. It's amazing.
What started as a twice-a-month event has grown into a weekly gathering, sometimes held on both Saturday and Sunday as word spread and demand increased. Even though summer has come to an end, Beach Babes has no plans of stopping.
We are looking to make a branch off of the walk club just for girls who don't necessarily want to walk, or it's maybe too cold to walk. So we're looking at making a social club of some sorts. No like names or anything yet, but that will entail just things we can do to meet up, like think bonfires on the beach, winery days with the girls, just like a bunch of fun activities to really get to know each other better, and do just like fun activities with the seasons, like fall, winter, lots to look forward to.
If you would like to join the 302 Beach Babes, all you have to do is pull out your phone, go on their Instagram, and find the next time and location for their walk. For Coastal Connections, I'm Elisa Weber.
Unless you have a problem with warmer weather and sunshine, I don't think there's anything to complain about as far as our weekend weather expectations are concerned. Now, right now in Lewes, we're holding at 64 degrees. We do have scattered clouds in place for us, mid to upper level cloud covers in place for us, and we'll have temperatures that will slip into the lower 60s. By 10 o'clock, we'll dip down to 60 degrees even, and then begin to flirt with temperatures in the upper 50s. But we're already cooling down tremendously throughout the entire Delmarva Peninsula at this point, and we're starting to see the skies clear a bit for us. Now, we're holding at 64 degrees right now in Rehoboth and Indian River Inlet, as well as Bethany Beach, but we're dropping down to 64 degrees in Bridgeville, Laurel, as well as Seaford. Winds out of the northeast. Since the winds aren't coming out of the south, we're not getting that warm, fuzzy feeling for right now. Still a bit on the cool side, and with the dew point temperatures dipping into the 40s, oh yeah, that chill is going to be a real thing. Coastal flood advisory is in effect for Cambridge and Cornerstone and Madison and those areas. This is primarily connected to the high tide. And we're looking for the same concern for us actually throughout Sussex until 10 o'clock tonight. But we do have an active small craft advisory. That's 25-mile-per-hour wind gust likely, and that's going to be a concern going into, let's say, Friday evening. So it's going to be a bit blustery there. Beach hazard statement is in effect. We're concerned about possible erosion due to the winds actually kicking up and the waves staying active. I don't think that's going to be a big problem going into the weekend festivities. At least we're not concerned about rain. Winds out of the east for tomorrow, 72 for the high in Georgetown. We're looking for 70 for the high in Cambridge, and we will warm to 70 degrees for us in Snow Hill. So for Friday, temperatures are going to be near the 70-degree mark, a little above, a little below, but winds are primarily pushing out of the east. Now for Friday, we start off with some cloud cover. We clear out on Friday afternoon, temperatures near 70. Saturday, we start off in the lower 50s, possibly upper 40s for some locations, but then we'll jettison quickly into the upper 70s by then, approaching the 80-degree mark. Here's your country calling forecast. Listen, for today, we had 69. For Saturday and Sunday, we're looking for beautiful sunshine and the wind shifting out of the south over the weekend, so it's going to make it feel a little bit better. But when's the next round of rain? You know what? We have to go all the way until like next Tuesday and Wednesday, because that's how long it's going to take to reach us. Because take a look at what we're talking about. Scattered showers sliding through for Wednesday evening, then it pushes through, and then we'll have a dramatic drop in temperatures following that. Finally, here's a look, the 7-day forecast. Listen, 72 for Friday. You got to remember 77, 78 is the norm. Then we start getting a little sunshine in here Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And we start ever so steadily creeping near the 80-degree mark for about 3 days in a row. We'll surpass that on Tuesday with 83. And then here comes the rain and the cooler weather. And look at next Thursday. All I'm going to say is look at next Thursday so it doesn't catch you by surprise. Get ready to pull that jacket out of the closet.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening, sports fans. We've got the Salisbury City rivalry on the gridiron tonight. The Y-High Tribe take on the Parkside Rams at County Stadium. This game is about to get underway, so let's break it down. The Y-High Tribe have been a team to beat this season. They remain undefeated, and last week was an offensive showing. Quarterback Landon Roach was named DSN's Offensive Player of the Week. He went 22 for 27 for 292 yards, along with 5 touchdowns against Cambridge South Dorchester. The Tribe looked to put together a similar offense while amping up their defense against Parkside tonight. As for the Rams, they are an even 500 this year at 2-2. Their defense showed up in Game 1 of the season against Delmar with 2 pick-sixes. Last week, they fell to Colonel Richardson at home, giving up 40 points. So defense will be another focal point tonight against a Y-High team that put up 49 points last week against Cambridge South Dorchester. But this is a Salisbury City rivalry, so we anticipate a back-and-forth battle early on. Tune in right now on the Delmarva Sports Network for all of the action. You will not want to miss it tonight. That'll for sports. Have a great night, everybody.
It's a beautiful scene right now with a few clouds. Rehoboth Beach, 64 degrees, and we'll drop to 60 by 10 o'clock with mostly just beautiful looking weather. Still a little breezy. Be watchful of that. Carol Conley of Ocean View. Congratulations. You're our umbrella winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration, Home Remodeling. Call our weather line. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstead, Mendalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Now, we are looking for 72 on Friday, but Saturday and Sunday, we are going to warm nicely with all kinds of sunshine. And then we'll crack the 80-degree mark, if not over the weekend, definitely by Monday and Tuesday.
Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.